The next morning, at Empire Hotel. A grand wedding was in full swing. The union of the two prominent families had caused a sensation throughout Swinton. Countless businessmen, wealthy individuals, and high-ranking officials arrived with great anticipation. Hundreds of luxury wedding cars were parked at the hotel square, occupying almost every available space. The entire street had also been cordoned off specially for today's wedding ceremony. Dressed in his groom's attire, Rhys personally welcomed the guests at the entrance of the lobby. Of course, he only greeted those who held status and influence, while the ordinary guests were attended to by his men. Mr. Langford. At that moment, Wilson walked up to him and said in a hushed voice, "There's a turn of events. Dustin's not dead yet, and the assassins I sent out are all missing." "What did you say? What's the point of me hiring you if you can't handle a small matter like this?" Rhys frowned. "I'm sorry. I underestimated that punk." Wilson lowered his head in shame. "Forget about it. After today, I'll send someone personally to deal with him." Rhys didn't bother making a fuss out of it. "Mr. Langford, there's something else." Wilson hesitated to speak. Rhys was slightly unhappy. "What now?" In a whisper, Wilson continued, "I heard that Dustin might disrupt the wedding today." "Disrupt the wedding?" Rhys was taken aback for a moment before he laughed out loud. "Are you joking? My men are all here. Would he dare act rashly here? It's best to consider all possibilities." Wilson smiled apologetically. "He can try if he wants. I'm itching to see how he'll barge into my den." Rhys sneered coldly. An ordinary citizen, trying to go against him? He didn't mind shedding blood today at the party if it came to it. In the meantime, in one of the rooms of the hotel, Dahlia sat in front of the dressing table, in a daze. Ever since Dustin came looking for her yesterday, she has been on edge, worried he might attempt something foolish. For this reason, she'd been sending him messages and making calls, but she never received a response. It worried her more as he ignored her. "Dahlia, why are you sulking? You should be smiling. It's your big day." Right then, Florence walked in with a grin and started picking out Dahlia's jewelry. Dahlia suddenly asked, "Mom, do you think Dustin will come today?" "Why do you care?" Florence's brows furrowed. "I've looked around the area. It's heavily guarded here, with security personnel inside and out. If Dustin dares break in, he'll probably be beaten up badly." Dahlia's concern deepened upon hearing her mother's words. "Dahlia, stop thinking about it. That punk is all talk. He won't really come. He's not stupid. Why would he seek his own demise?" Florence took advantage of the situation and comforted her. It was clear to her that her daughter had unresolved feelings. Unfortunately, they could never be together. Besides, it was a lifelong dream of Florence to have her daughter marry into a wealthy family. How would she allow someone to ruin her dream that easily? "I hope so." Dahlia sighed, but her expression remained troubled. "All right, it's about time. Let's go." Florence smiled, leading Dahlia out. At the venue, the seats were already filled with distinguished guests. Amidst the applause, Rhys walked up the stage slowly. He received the microphone from the officiant and said with a face full of smiles, "Dear guests, family, and friends, thank you for attending my wedding. Today is the most important day of my life. Even though I've only known Dahlia for a short time, from the moment I laid my eyes on her, I knew she was the only woman I would want to marry in this lifetime. I hope all of you present here today will bear witness to our grand wedding." As soon as he spoke those words, the crowd erupted in thunderous applause and cheers.